Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. You know, one of the things I see off and on throughout the internet is all kinds of instructions and tips and tricks for preppers out there. And you know, you hear a lot of stuff about what guns to own, or how to save food, or order MREs and all these things, because that's what preppers do. We prepare, right? Well, one of the things I often see overlooked is the most important thing that a prepper should be preparing for, or a homesteader, or even off-grid homesteader like us, and that is water. I see so many people who concentrate on so many other things like guns and knives and all this other stuff that preppers post about, but water is the most important thing you can have as a prepper. And so many preppers I see don't have this stuff. And so I want to show you what we got here. This is our outhouse. And these are our water tanks that are all hooked up, and there's more on the other side of the outhouse. But we have the ability to save a lot of water so that we can use when times, when it's not raining, or, I mean, sometimes you'll go through a dry spell where it won't rain for 3 or 4 weeks, up to a month sometimes. And sometimes even longer than that. And, in the springtime when the rains come, and even in the fall when the rains come, you want to replenish your water supply by attaching it to a downspout or something like that. But you gotta have water, and people forget this so often, how important water is, especially for our garden. For us, our garden is the biggest thing that we can have, and that's what feeds our family. And so, we have a water line that connects to these things that runs underground to our garden, which is just over there. And that way we can have access to water when it's not hasn't rained for over a month or 3 or 4 weeks. So water being so important. But I see so many people who miss water, and so my opinion is that you're not a prepper if you don't have water. If you haven't prepared a way to save and accumulate water for in times when water may not be available. You can have all the best guns, you can have as many MREs as you can store in your basement, but if you don't have water or ability to make more water or to clean water, you're not a prepper, in my opinion. You're just not. So this is our water storage tanks. Now, there's a couple things I think you need to keep in mind. Number one is try to seal off this water, the way it gathers and the way it gets into these tanks, the best way you can, so that you don't have just a mosquito farm. I see a lot of preppers who basically just run water right into the top of their tanks, and they don't have it sealed off to where you're just not creating a whole big mosquito mess for for your area. I mean, you just basically and the whole Zika virus going on nowadays. This is kind of important, and my family hates mosquitoes. We don't like mosquitoes at all, and so I don't want to breed more by just having open containers sitting around full of water. And so I see a lot of preppers do that. They're like, oh, we'll just get a pool and just, store our water in a pool. But all you're doing is making a mosquito farm that's just gonna, drive your family nuts. So don't do that. Try to seal off your stuff as much as you possibly can so that, you're not just breeding a mosquito farm. Also, keeping your water cool, it really cool your water down, is if you can run your line underground out to where it's going to be used. Like, there's my garden, and so that way when the water comes through, it's actually going through a cooling process before you use it. If you like cold water, that can be beneficial. We have all of these tanks rigged up right here so that they're all connected. So when this one fills, from the rain, this one fills, and then this one fills, and then the ones on the other side are all connected as well. So when one fills, they all fill. And so that takes some pre-planning and putting together your water storage. So, that's something you need to keep in mind as you're putting this together. That will really benefit you. So you'll have one or two water collection points, but all of your tanks will fill from those 1 or 2 water collection points. So a lot of times the reply is for people, preppers, hey Zach, I'm not allowed in my area to put these things up because I live in a suburban area or a semi-suburban area and they won't let me do it. Guys, there are ways to tactically save water. I've had people contact me and say, well, I can't build this because I have to get a building permit and have to have a city inspector come out and look at that. Okay, fine. Here's what you do. You can tactically do this under the radar by going out, getting a permit, putting up a tool shed. It's going to be a tool shed on paper, right? And then inside that tool shed, put one of these tanks in there. Put one of these tanks in there, so where no one can see it. It's in the tool shed. You've gotten your city approval. The city inspector has come out and approved the tool shed. And now you've come and put one of these inside there. And you're running your water. See how this is running out? This water will come through down the spout and then go through here. But you're going to have to actually run it into the wall right from the gutter and go into your tank, and then at a certain point you can turn that off. Once your tank's full inside, you can turn that off and then redirect it somewhere else if you have to. But there are ways to tactically do this, even if you're not allowed, you know, to spec or the city code or the ordinance, you know, code to build one of these things outside where everyone can see it. You have to worry about city inspectors and bureaucrats getting in your life. Well, there's ways to tactically do this. So, I mean, figure it out, adapt and overcome, but don't call yourself a prepper if you're not prepping for water. It's just ridiculous. All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll see you next time on the Homestead.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button below the video. It really means a lot to us. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Now you can support An American Homestead by becoming a patron. Visit patreon.com/An American Homestead to see all the benefits of becoming a patron of our channel. You'll get access to private videos, pictures, and even live question and answer sessions that you can participate in. Some patrons will even receive free gifts throughout the year from the Homestead. Visit patreon.com/An American Homestead to check it out and see the rewards of supporting our channel.